set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle there by Eli Harold.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the toss, here's Foreman. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Lions will take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit the tackle to Jalen Holmes.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Riddick with a carry. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a second down throw for Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the... And got his man complete! And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A carry for Foreman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, we're good.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
To throw is Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 1st down. Here's Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
First and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Rhino! Zebra!
Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give them confidence and let them knock it through.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd down, Cousins. He sets to fire deep. He's got him in, complete. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
You got him. You got him. You got him. Hey, Jack 50 left. Hey, go here.
On 1st down at Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
A first carry now for Kofani Muhammad. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, here's Kamara. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on first down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A give. This is Kamara. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And an alley to run. And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
But that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hey, receiver. Come on.
Throwing is Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Taken in at the 11. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
He's going to sling this deep downfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Cousins now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Cousins now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away, and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Following the interception, Cousins. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They run again with Foreman. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't...
And he'll get in! Touchdown, Minnesota! It's the fullback with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. And it's up and good. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down from the 34 now. Here's 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right on the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
What's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Now Foreman. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Here's Foreman. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Cousins now on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
21. Tag 50 left.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eli Harold coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Foreman. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He was brought down by Devon Kennard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Hey, Ringo, 48. Rhino.
Cousins now. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and finally
taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 91 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a while?
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, 78 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. A little juke. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy lap.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Throwing is Stafford. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now on the afternoon. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot drag.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Lions on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. Again, it's Stafford. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Again, it's Foreman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but